Welcome, Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarkets Podcast Pioneer, with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio. Are you exercising, driving in the car? Always love to have you. We're on all the podcast listening apps, and don't forget about our YouTube channel. I'm at ASTA 2024. It's in Raleigh, Durham. It's the ASTA organization, and ASTAExpo.com. If you miss this, you can't miss it next year. It's been a continuing, growing summit. I think 800 and some people here. I'm with Kent Bullard. Hey, Kent.
Howdy.
You guys were here with a booth. Kent's the COO of the Institute for Automotive Business Excellence. You can find them on the web at wearetheinstitute.com. You taught, your dad Cecil taught, I think, did Jimmy teach?
Jimmy taught, Mark taught, Aaron taught, Michael taught. I mean, we brought a lot of sessions here too.
A lot of great sessions, and they were all business management or leadership type seminars.
Yes, sir.
Had your booth. Golly, we sure appreciate the support for you guys to be a partner on Craig O'Neill's show. Get that launched.
Couldn't have picked a better person.
Yeah, Craig's so much fun. So thank you for that. One of the things that is going on with Kent and the Institute is they're holding a summit. And the summit is going to be next February. That would be 2025. That would be February 6th through 9th. Tell us about it.
Well, much like our previous summit, we tried to bring, so we have 3 different keynotes. Jimmy would get on me because he doesn't call it, there's only one keynote, supposedly.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But I call them keynotes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They're subject matter experts in that sense, but we wanted to bring a lot of valuable training and education from outside the industry. This is something that we're always kind of doing and looking at is, can we pull something from another viable vertical and bring it into our industry that we can apply and use here. And so we've got 3 of those. We've got 5 lightning talks that are going to be happening from excellent shop owners. These are shop owners who stand out, and that's the theme of the summit, is standing out. As this industry is consolidating and there's more competition for market space and all that, how do we continue to raise the bar and stand above that and live within our value set, right? And so that's what we're trying to accomplish with the summit. So we've got 5 lightning talks from excellent owners who are doing something very special that help them stand out in the marketplace. Somebody is attracting top talent. How are they doing that? Somebody is building their, I want to say empire, but building and scaling their culture, their business. That's one of the fears that we have, is we want to make sure that the automotive professional is the one that's leading the future of this industry.
You know, you said the word scaling. I got to stop you for a minute. I don't care if you have 1 store to 2 to 3, or you're just
all of it scaling.
Yeah, or if you're going from $1.2 million to $1.5 million, Kent, that's scaling, because that $1.2 million company and the $1.5 million company is different to the $1.7 million and the new bays and the
well, I mean, that's something that we really try to look at, because we found that there's definitely these different benchmarks that you're going to hit, right, as you go along in developing your business, as you grow, as you scale.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that we kind of hit the mark on each one of those. So whether you're a shop owner that is, I mean, we saw a lot of brand new shop owners that were here at ASTA. That's awesome. I love seeing new people come in. There's even a few people that hadn't started a shop yet that were looking and kind of perusing and getting an idea of how they need to put it together when they launch. And so the summit we want to hit all those different levels and make sure that everyone kind of gets what they need as we go along.
I was surprised in the class that I had, my think tank, there were just about 26, 28 people, and it was really a nice size for an intimate wisdom sharing gathering.
Chad said he really appreciated it, by the way.
Who?
Chad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he enjoyed that.
I had so much fun. And between 15 months and 37 years were how many years people were in business. And the young people that were there in their first and second and third and fifth year, I had fun with them. I asked every single one of them, do you have an expert or a coach or a mentor, an accountability partner working for you? And they all said no. And then I ask everyone in the room who has a coach and who credits the success that they have being a top shop who's here. Oh my God, top shop's here, sharing wisdom with each other. Ew, a novel idea. And all these other people put up their hands and says, I couldn't have done it without him. And then I says, keep your hands up. And I went to everybody and says, now, be sure that you're figuring out that this is an important opportunity, a perfect strategy for you. So it was nice to be able to connect. If it was a takeaway for them, then we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish, and that is to show people you can't do it alone, period. We were talking about all the moving parts that are going on in business and in life, and especially our industry. I'm talking to some people here that are creating software that's going to blow our world's minds.
It's getting more intense.
And if you don't keep up,
you're going to get left behind.
You are going to be left behind.
I mean, all of the indicators show that we're likely to lose, 52% of the market over the next 7 to 10 years?
Yeah, that's scary. I talked to your dad.
And I say that lose, but more so it's going to get consolidated.
Yeah.
Either that or they're going to age out. There is that stopgap we've talked about before where there's a lot of owners haven't quite retired yet, and they're at that point.
I've noticed a trend of young coaches, Kent, and even part-timers. And I have seen a coach or two hire some of their young clients that have been in business no more than 5 years that have turned themselves into superstars in a short to say, hey, would you come in and take on a couple of clients? And they're mentored and they're coached by the coach. And I find that to be fascinating. We're growing our bench. From the expert bench in our industry. And I know, and you have some, and I admire who they are. And so I want to talk about the decision to do it, how that's working, where do you think coaching's going? And I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
This has been a conversation for the Institute for a couple of years. How do we grow and scale? How do we do this the right way? Early on, everybody makes mistakes, right? If we had a coach that came in and didn't necessarily commit to the bit, they didn't fulfill the position of being a coach. And I think that that's a very critical role to play. There's a lot of responsibility in being a coach. That if that coach got dissuaded or disenchanted with it and realized, hey, maybe I don't want to do this, and they leave, they've just demoralized anybody that they were working with from pursuing coaching as a resource, not as a coach, right? They were looking for help, and this person didn't necessarily invest in them. And so that was something that we took to heart. We wanted to make sure that the people we brought on really loved what they were going to be doing as a coach.
How do you know?
There's I have a very intense vetting process at this point. I mean, I've had a lot of coaches come to me saying, we want to be a part of the Institute. I want to do this and this. And what I'm looking for are characteristics of selflessness. There's a lot of people who've come to me who wanted to be coaches who have this kind of chip on their shoulder. Well, I'm hot stuff. I'm amazing. So people should listen to me.
I'm sorry, that just doesn't work.
Those aren't the kind of people that I want to hire as a coach.
I agree.
Because they don't have the right mentality. It's about developing people. And, we've learned a lot from Michael. It was phenomenal being able to bring him into the Institute.
Can we stop right there? Hold your thought.
Yeah.
Michael Smith, he's been on our show. He's just a phenomenal trainer, coach, leader, consultant. Can't say enough about Michael. And he's doing a leadership intensive training program and other things for you. And Tracy had a chance to go to it. She came back on high with, just great resources. And did it change your life a little bit? It sure did. See, to your point about Michael Smith, I just wanted to stop and tell people that if you're ever looking for, okay, I don't need a coach now. And of course I could go to the Institute, but go to one of Michael Smith's classes. That's all. I mean, they can find it probably on your website, right?
Yeah, we're running them concurrently, so we'll have them every other month or so.
We are the institute.com. Okay, there's my little love commercial for Michael.
Michael came in. It was funny because Michael was working with clients outside the Institute, and we were kind of having that conversation of, is this guy going to take away what we were doing? And we kind of had this moment. I actually said, well, let's go talk to him. Let's see what's going on. And instead of, if you were to do a SWOT analysis, seeing him as somebody who's a threat, I was like, this guy is an asset. This guy is an opportunity for us. This is something that we can work together in tandem and bring him in, because you need the operational side, but you also need the people side. That's the key that he brought, was that next level of human development.
Yeah.
You think about, what does the talent look like over the next couple of years? We've had a disparity in technicians coming into this industry. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the table there. We've had.
Do it again.
But
Let me hear it. Come on, okay.
There we go. It's something that's been known for a while, but now it's starting to accelerate. And it's because we're not covering the people side of things. We're not developing or investing in the next generation of technicians. There's a lot of shops that are. There's a lot of the people here are.
Yeah.
But there's a vast majority that aren't.
Right.
And that's a concern. So we brought him in, and he brought everything in. I mean, I've been through the leadership intensive, I think 3 times now. Incredibly mind-changing.
Yeah, learning something new every time.
Something brand new. And this is something we've really tried to bring to the table in vetting coaches for the Institute, is making sure that we're picking people that are more than just somebody who ran a good shop. That doesn't constitute a good coach, or somebody who's going to invest and develop people, which is essentially what the Institute does. We develop people, leaders in their spaces, whether it's the owner, whether it's the advisor, the manager. And I told you, we try to hit every level that we can.
How do you find givers who can run a disciplined show or lead a group and keep them on track, but still understand that they're lifting? I just think of Aaron Woods, okay? I just think of Aaron, love him to death. And we were lucky enough that you allowed us to hang out at one of his things. And we know Aaron, and I'm watching Aaron work. He was a disciplined, loving giver. And I just can't tell you.
That's a good way to put that. Disciplined, loving giver.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't bring your homework. He kind of called John on it.
Well, I think.
But he still said you can do better, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Me and my dad were having this conversation the other day, and it was kind of that generational, well, the next generation. I think there's been a lot of lacks when it comes to personal accountability, just societally. There's a lot of, well, we can just sidestep that. It's okay to be unaccountable. Accountability is how we learn and grow, and it's uncomfortable, but when you exercise and you tear your muscles, that's part of growth. When you go a lot of these life-changing things can be painful, but sometimes that pain is necessary, and it's invigorating, and it helps you appreciate the path and where you came from.
Did you ever tell a story about a painful thing that happened, but turned it into a positive when you're telling the story to people? Because there were some really tough and low points in my career and in my life that I've changed to be in a positive way. I was the lowest of lows in some cases. When I tell that story, it's not the lowest of lows kind of story.
It's really not.
There's lessons there.
Yeah, we grow through adversity.
Yeah.
The accountability portion of it comes from a place of caring, not a place of power. I'm not trying to hold or lord power over you in any way. Aaron does a phenomenal job of it. He's an exceptional leader. He holds people accountable.
By the way, Aaron, this whole episode is about you because of what I observed you doing and how I felt that Kent was on to something here. And I don't know any of your other coaches that are in Aaron's shoes, how they fit as shop owners. But if you continue down that trek, I wanted to find out what the magic at the Institute was to pull this off.
I have an immense appreciation for Aaron. And if he's listening to this, Aaron, I really do value our relationship and the friendship that we have. And I've let Aaron down once or twice, and he's gifted me grace to work back on that. And I think that's something. I think when you're holding people accountable, people make mistakes. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
And that's something that when I'm evaluating a coach or I'm asking them what they want out of this and I talk about adversity, because we deal with people who have broken businesses. And oftentimes when they have broken businesses, they have broken lives. They're dealing with something traumatic. They don't know how to speak to some topic specifically. I mean, we had an instance where there was a member who spoke about an employee and how they would handle them, and the way that he said it, you would be aghast. In fact, the people there were aghast. They were, I can't believe this person's with us all this. Even the coach was, we need to kick him out. And me and Michael said, hang on, let's see and talk to this person. And it turns out it really was coming from a sincere place. They just didn't know how to articulate that. They didn't have the right emotional competence to say, I care about my people. That's why I need them to do this and this in the business. And it came full circle. But I mean, I think there's a level of grace that has to be extended to the people that are doing the work and trying their best.
So you're going to model your future people like Aaron after Aaron.
Oh, yeah. If I could have another Aaron, that would be amazing. The thing is, so Aaron and Jennifer work a lot together. They're an incredible duo.
Now, not to exclude Jennifer, because she's a great lady.
Yeah, Jennifer's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's up in New York State, by the way.
She is. Yeah.
We've had her on before.
She's in Alaska right now.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. With one of our groups.
Oh, she's facilitating in Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
How cool.
We have a group going on right now.
Yeah.
So she went coast to coast.
Who's our dog musher up there?
No, it's I think it's Frontline Automotive. Yeah, they're facilitating up there. But Aaron and Jennifer have taken this on. The thing is, they're champions. They're people who love this industry so much and are willing to do the work to help correct people to do the right thing. And frankly, they've done the right thing. They went through that adversity. They made the changes. They saw that the things that they were doing in the groups worked. And that's what inspired them to say, this is actually what I would like to do.
Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, will be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPA Trax, that's NAPATRACS.com. In the world of auto repair, every shop has its unique rhythm and challenges. At AutoFix Auto Shop Coaching, they understand that one size does not fit all. That's why we offer personalized business coaching, tailoring our advice to meet your shop's specific needs. Transform your operations with strategies and tools to streamline your workflow, reduce waste, and skyrocket productivity. And when it comes to the numbers, we've got you covered. Our financial management guidance helps you master your finances from cash flow to profit margins, ensuring your revenue grows stronger. Every day, AutoFix Auto Shop Coaching, empowering your shop to achieve more. Visit us at autoshopcoaching.com. Transform your team with today's class, where automotive training is easy, quick, and fun. Just 5 minutes a day on our app can eliminate hours of looking up forgotten information later. It's perfect for technicians, advisors, and managers alike. Keep critical knowledge fresh and top of mind, ensuring your team operates at peak efficiency. Today's class is impactful, accessible from anywhere, and a bit of fun too, and we're not talking about after-hours pizza either. For training that gets results, turn to todaysclass.com.
So here's my biggest question in the world. Aaron can't facilitate all these groups, nor Jennifer, in a part-time job. So were they willing to say that my business is going to go part-time? I have taught my people how to run my business without me. What are they spending at their shops?
They spend time with their shops.
They're
still there.
Okay.
But they're not necessary to the day-to-day operations. They're looking at the top down. They don't need to be present all of the time because they've done such a good job at putting their team together, putting the processes together, putting the organization together, running their workflow exceptionally well, making sure that their margins are taken care of. And this is still stuff that they manage. Aaron is still in a group. So he is also a group participant still, and they've done such a good job with the business that they can take the time to reinvest and facilitate these groups.
Let's consider what this message really is about, this episode. I can't help but think, we were talking at an earlier show, looking at an individual from Black's Tire with 60 stores. He's kind of the lead trainer, director of training for 600 employees. He started out as a tech years ago, changing the engines in his backyard garage. And we talk so much in the industry about career pathing and where am I going, how am I getting there? We look at Ryan Koyman, the director of training at Standard Motor Products, who was a wrench 25 years ago, and now he's the director of training for Standard. And when I think of shop owners and what their career path is, that I have a business, maybe I'll sell it, maybe I'll coach someday, maybe I'll start a coaching. No, whoa, stop, time out. If you feel like a giver and a trainer and you want to help people, again, the vetting process to make sure you've got the right candidate, I look at this as a career opportunity for a shop owner that's looking for the next level, the next step. Because in their heart, they want to give and help people.
I think mentorship is always going to be a part of the process at some point. To fully learn and comprehend something, you then have to teach it at some level, whether it's to your own people, whether it's to colleagues that are around you, or whether that's you taking on the responsibility of coaching the next generation of shop owners.
You classify Aaron, Jennifer as a mentor, a facilitator, a coach, an expert, or the answer yes?
They're leaders.
Were they natural born?
Well, yes and no, because Aaron's very driven. He's very passionate. He loves going and teaching and presenting. Jennifer is also very passionate and driven, but not on the presenting side, more on the facilitating the groups themselves and being able to extract the experience from other shops to help each other. And each of them have their own skills in leadership and in that right. I don't know if it's natural or not. I kind of met them a little later in their careers when they had established more so themselves.
I'm a shop owner. I'm listening to this and I'm saying, gosh, wow, this is so cool.
I think futuring is something you should always be doing.
Yeah, and I think I want to do this. And I'm going to reach out to Kent Bullard, wearetheinstitute.com. And you say, wow, this is really interesting. This is kind of cool. You've never had a coach. You've sent me your financials. I'm looking at them. And there are some people out there going to think that they can do this.
Yeah.
And they may not necessarily can. And I don't want to send the wrong message here, but I guess this whole episode is about the trend in expert coaching. That's my opinion. To be able to pick Aaron and Jennifer, and who knows where else you're going and what you guys are brewing up. I know 2 other coaches that have brought on clients as part-time coaches. They're hot on them. They're teaching and mentoring and training them. They gave them a couple of clients to work with. They're part of the entire process. I'm seeing this as a positive for our industry.
So we have 2 things. We had the process that we teach in building and developing your business. We knew that worked. It's a process. It's defined. It's a system. What was the unique challenge was teaching others how to coach.
God, that's got to be hard.
It's different. It's a completely different skill set than with the groups. This is the process. We do the business evaluation. We go to the host shop and we do this full extensive evaluation. We do the financials there. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, and there's a system behind that. But when it comes to being a facilitator, there's nuances that have to be trained. When it comes to being a coach, there's nuances that have to be trained. And so we teach that. We work on that. And what I want to posit here is that Aaron and Jennifer are still learning. You'll hear Aaron say it all the time. He is an eternal student. I think that's another one of those things that I like to look for in a potential coach, is somebody who is actively seeking more knowledge, more enlightenment, and seeing how they can use that to others' benefit. Again, it comes back to selflessness. Am I able to learn and grasp this stuff and be able to give it to somebody else so that they can experience the benefits that come with growing?
I call it being a perpetual student.
Perpetual student.
That's my term. And it hit me years ago when I was constantly thirsty for learning something new every day and wanting to go to every seminar that I could get. And then, of course, bringing that knowledge to my people. But then I had to learn how to be a really good leader in order to get that knowledge to be absorbed and accepted by my people, and then let them do it, not me.
Yeah.
I wasn't perfect at that.
There's some level of ego death that has to happen.
I love that. Wait a minute. Stop it. Ego death.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
We all die a little bit every day.
Oh my God.
It's to make space for what's next.
I've been searching for a couple of words that describe, look in the mirror, the person's the problem, it's your ego, get over your ego. But ego death? You could write a novel. Maybe we should write a book together. Ego Death by Kent Bullard.
That's heavy metal, man.
Yeah. Let's get AC/DC to do the soundtrack for this.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
Maybe. I don't know.
But let's go back to the summit. It's going to be on an island in Florida?
Amelia Island.
And can anybody go?
Resort.
Can anybody go?
Anybody can go. We'd love to invite you. If you are just feeling out the water, come check it out.
Yeah, there's water around an island.
Yeah, usually. We also happen to have another keynote that's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to give a keynote, right?
Am I? Where?
At the summit.
No. Did you talk to the old man?
It's okay.
Okay.
I checked with the boss. He said it was
Oh
all
my
right.
God. Oh my, wow. Yeah, if you're going to go, you're going to hear me get up and pontificate on my declaration of the rise of the mechanical and technology specialist, of which I'm going all over the country doing. Met so many people, have given out my declaration paper. Thank you, Ken. Oh my God,
Thank you.
It would be great. Put me in those hot grouping things. Maybe I can be in that rotation or something.
But it's another opportunity for you to bump elbows. I know that's like a common phrase, bump elbows at the top. It's like more than that. It's welcomed in.
I know. I'll tell you, we had a absolute blast. We met so many great people. In fact, I so enjoyed the town halls that we did, where we had groups, bring a 4-mic studio. Those are the most fun, especially when you get, and we'd have to reach out to you and say, you can't find me 3 really, type A's.
Yeah.
But no, find me a C and a B and an A, but they're all together. And I want to be and I am, but I want to hear, I want to share. And you could literally almost find your future coaches in those kinds of, and that's, oh my God, think about that. Hang out at one of your groups and just literally observe and watch, which I know you go and do, and see who your future coaches are, who's sitting there.
We keep eyes on. We're very selective. Again, there's a few criteria that we really are looking for, the type of attitude that we're looking for, because not everybody is really built to be a coach.
Yeah.
Not to dissuade anybody from pursuing it, but it does take a bit of selflessness. It takes a bit of grace. It takes a bit of knowledge and acumen as well. So there's the technical competency, and technical meaning the skills for the shop and that kind of thing.
We're sorry for all the noise in the background all day. The air conditioning comes on and off. And this room, I think, is 55 degrees. And all the other training rooms are at like 80. And everybody wants to come in here. I could sell seats, I think, in our beautiful, very cold room. Explain to me what you mean by grace.
Grace, again, it kind of goes back to people are going to make mistakes. It's not going to be perfect, especially with the clients that we work with. They're going to continue to make mistakes and stumble. It hurts sometimes. And we're there for a lot of stuff. And it could be stuff that is not even within the shop owner's control. Could be that a tree fell through the building. It could be that they had a loved one who had some medical emergency that happened, or even a technician who maybe had gotten hurt.
Yeah.
And there's stumbling points, and it's not, okay, we're going to check box A and B and C, and then you're done and you get to graduate. There's all of these different modules that we're going to go through, and we need to take them the way that the shop needs to take them in order to progress.
Speaking of grace, God, I don't know why I didn't say it at earlier podcasts today, but Hurricane Helene, I think, came through here. I know a shop owner somewhere on the western side of North Carolina lost their entire shop. And I know that the ASTA group started a GoFundMe page for all the devastation. We're talking terrible floods, 45 deaths so far that I heard this morning from this hurricane between Florida and here. While I was teaching my class yesterday, facilitating my class yesterday, one of the owners there found out that one of his employees lost their entire home right in the class. So we did a moment of silence to try to put prayers their way, but they said it was one of the most intensive hurricanes at 140 miles an hour that this region has ever seen in 100 years, or some crazy thing. Dams are ready to explode. So this weather's been pretty tough, and for all the people that ended up being here and showing up here, it's a commitment to their wanting to learn. We tough through the bad weather here. So grace, because of some of the hurting people that are part of this ASTA group, and we wish them the best. We wish them the best. You know what I forgot to mention early on? That we're sponsored here by NAPA Tracks. So we thank NAPA Tracks so much for having us here at the ASTA Expo. The future of coaching, you guys are, big and thick in it. Besides what you're doing to bring on these great facilitators, where's it going? Where are we going with coaching? Are you finding that the list of people wanting to come in and get coached finally and find an expert or a mentor to help them? Or is there going to be a different kind of way to do it someday down the road?
That's been a part of the conversation. So not all of our coaches are shop owners. None of our consultants are shop owners.
Right.
That was a back and forth debate for a while internally with the Institute, because we had shop owner coaches who know the shops and know how the shop runs and all of that. But we found a lot of qualified consultants that came from, the Fortune 500 space. Michael, for instance, who had this wealth of knowledge that were in different verticals that we were like, we can't pass this up just because we have some ego trip about saying we know shops and we only have shop owners that run and coach. There's a whole wealth of knowledge we could be leveraging. And so we made it a point to bring these people in and then to cross train these things. So Michael, Kevin, they brought stuff in, Liz brought stuff in, whereas Aaron and Jennifer brought stuff in from the shops and how the shops operate. And from that, we've developed some exceptional systems and processes and resources for the clients that we're working with. What I think you'll start to see is this amalgamation of concepts and training and leadership and stuff from all different verticals. I feel like we've been almost secluded too much. There's a lot of industries that are far beyond our own. Why can't we take any of that for ourselves?
Here's what I'm hearing. We're just not a net operating income coaching company. We're just not a for-profit P&L balance sheet, and you never were. But what you're saying is you're trying to make people better leaders, is that you're getting ready to support them with some really great people. Would you ever I was a shop owner, and we really got ourselves dialed in numerically, but you've been watching me fail as a leader. I got there so far. Would you say, hey, you need to spend some time with Michael, or you need to go to Michael's classes? So you sitting above and watching all this happen, or giving your coaches the levity to go into the expert side of the Institute.
Yeah, we leverage all of that.
All right.
In fact, more often than not, a lot of the things that prevent a shop from moving forward is poor leadership. These are technicians, and again, I don't want to bash anybody because they were like, I can start my own business, I can do this. But leadership is a completely different role. Management is a completely different role, a different skill set. We've said it multiple times. So why not figure out how to do that? Because that's pivotal to everything else you're going to implement. I've spoken to a few shop owners today alone who were frustrated because they were trying to implement SOPs, or they were trying to implement new pay plans, or they were trying to expand work or get more car count, all of these things. And they feel like they've got no support from their team, and they want to send these people to training and all of this stuff. And well, my team just won't be committed to training. And it's like, it's because there's a lack of leadership. Leadership is futuring. This is where we are headed. This is where we are going. Do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to get on the bus with us? And it's about finding the people that want to be on the bus.
I just wrote a title of a book down that I created, but I'm sure this title has been written before. But just listening to you, I wrote down The Burden of Leadership.
Burden of leadership.
The burden of leadership. It's not a negative thing. It's like you feel burdened by it. Here's how you got to fix it. To the point, I was speaking to some people yesterday. He says, I started working on my car. I was at the dealership, and then I went out on my own, and I did this, and I got a shop, and me and a couple of other guys, and we're doing our thing. And I says, got any leadership training? So the burden of leadership is, I can't face it. Yeah. And people tell me I got to read books. I got to talk to other people. Where can I go out and find information? Okay, you can watch all this YouTube stuff, and it's feel good, great videos.
What it is.
Oh my God. And then until you have to lift your finger and actually try it, the burden of leadership.
I hear this from Jimmy all the time because I'm an overthinker. By the way, I am not the best leader. Okay. It's a struggle.
Are you saying sometimes. Confession to me? I always look like a priest. Okay, go ahead.
Jimmy says, whether it's the right choice or the wrong choice, make a choice.
Yeah.
Because stagnancy is worse.
Yeah.
And in leadership, you're going to make mistakes. I have made them. I have made a lot of mistakes.
Wow.
10 years into this, I don't know what, 10, 11, 12 years into this now. And I've been thrust into a position of leadership. And I had to have my own coaches. I had to do my own work, and I had to make my own mistakes to figure things out. By the way, I'm still doing it. I'm not the best leader. And I think there's got to be some level of self-reflection to say, I'm still working on myself.
I am going to write a blog on the burden of leadership and tell my story. When I sold my business, and I thought I was a good leader. I had 60 employees. I thought I was a good leader. And I had to go work for a very large company, and they gave me all kinds of responsibility, and I realized I wasn't a leader. So I went, 3 months after the new job, I went to Borders. That's a bookstore, everyone. And I bought 2 Maxwell books.
Oh, love Maxwell.
All right, developing the leader within you. The first sentence of the first paragraph in the first chapter says, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And it really moved me. And I just kept consuming his books. You got to practice it. You got to go out of there. But the burden of leadership happened to me.
Practice.
Yeah.
I like that word.
2 great takeaways from this episode: ego death and the burden of leadership.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Really conceptual stuff. Walk away, write it down, look at these words, put them up on the mirror in the bathroom, put them on Post-it notes on your desk. Ego death and the burden of leadership.
I've heard this a few times this trip, discussing leadership. It's not the people who have all the right answers, it's the brave. It's the people who are brave enough to take the risk and move forward.
Yeah.
I have made a lot of mistakes, and it really, really, really sucks when you let down somebody that you have high respect and regard for due to either negligence or weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a leader to say, I can't stay there. I need to get up, dust myself off, and keep moving forward because people are counting on me.
When that's ever happened to me, Kent, I've had to have such deep reflection to try to learn what this moment feels like.
You know what it feels like?
And try to have it never happen again.
It feels like sitting on the edge of my bed, confessing to my wife that I'm not good enough. I'm not there for my children. I have been there too.
Yeah.
I've been blessed with having people like Michael and Aaron in my life who've said, all right, buddy, you need to dust yourself off because we've still got more to do.
I know. It's amazing. Having this little conversation with you has dusted off for me a lot of stuff over the last 40 years. And everyone has a story or 2 or 3 that got them where they are today, be it on a success decline or a failure decline. And when you constantly learn and reflect, as I just recently said, and you move forward, not only for yourself, but the people that you're with, be it if you're on a team or you're leading a team, they're somewhere along the line, people are counting on you. Wow. Thanks for being here. This isn't our first one-on-one, is it? All right. I didn't think so.
I don't think so.
I know you've done one with Tracy, right? And oh, yeah, that's right. We did one at AAPEX a couple of years ago. But a lot of things are changed with you.
Yeah, quite a bit. I think what you're going to see is a much higher take-up of coaching, of people doing coaching or getting help that they need to move forward. You're going to see more and more people take it up because there's evidence to support. There's people there that say, hey, this is something you should go do.
Yeah.
If you're not working with a coach, please find a coach. If it's not me, find somebody that you can trust and believe in to help you make the right choices.
Survivorship means coaching. How about that?
Even if it's just validation that you're making the right choices.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What about, hey, Kent, listen, charge me. I want to meet with you just every quarter. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Give me 1 hour and set me straight.
I'm game.
Cool. We are theinstitute.com, Kent Bullard. I'll see you all at the summit in February. Thank you. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks.